There's a bit of a turf war going on between the state of Florida and the federal government involving the alleged second attempted assassin of Donald Trump, Ryan Routh. Now, Ron DeSantis wants this to be a state investigation and state charges, and he has issued an executive order to Florida State Attorney General Ashley Moody to investigate and bring charges against Ryan Routh. However, the DOJ, citing some federal laws, have said this is their investigation and they are handling it and told Florida to stay out of the way. So there's a turf war. Well, Ashley Moody went to federal court and filed a suit against Merrick Garland and wants a judge to look at it and try to make a determination, either rule what Merrick Garland did was unconstitutional, citing the 10th Amendment, which is the separation of powers between federal and state governments, and basically said the federal government can't step on state government's toes, and use that, which is kind of interesting because you don't hear about the 10th Amendment that much, or to make a determination about who has jurisdiction, etc., and basically wants the judge to force the federal government to allow them to investigate and bring state charges. Well, it gets even more interesting because Ashley Moody filed this in Fort Pierce, which is the home courtroom of Judge Aileen Cannon. It appears that they were trying to get this in front of Judge Cannon to have her rule against the DOJ. Now, Judge Cannon is the judge that dismissed Donald Trump's classified documents case, saying Jack Smith was unconstitutionally appointed by Merrick Garland, and is currently the judge that is overseeing the federal case against Ryan Routh on the federal charges. But it appears that this judge is favorable to Donald Trump and Republicans in the way they are handling certain things. So it seems like they were trying to game the system by getting this in front of Judge Cannon. Now, that is not the judge who got this case. It went to a different judge, and we'll see how this case pans out down the road. But the fact that they are trying to apparently game this system and get it in front of a favorable judge to get the outcome they want is despicable. It's underhanded, and that's not how our justice system should work. After she wins the general election in November, Kamala Harris is going to have to get to work with a democratically favorable Congress to get some judicial reform in here, because things like this should not be allowed to happen. You should not be allowed to file with a favorable federal judge, and I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. Democrats shouldn't be able to go to more liberal-leaning judges just because that judge would be favorable. Same with doing something like this. So we got work to do to fix our court system and make sure it's credible, but it's just weird that they tried this gambit to get around the federal system and get this in front of a judge that they thought would be favorable to them and go against Merrick Garland. So we'll see what the outcome of this case is down the road when it is heard by the other judge that it was heard. I believe it is Judge Moore. We'll see what they rule on this as far as who gets jurisdiction. I'm thinking it's going to be the federal government and the DOJ.